Actually, at the time, there were only two companies that put out all of the detective magazines. The one that I wrote for was Reese Communications in New York, and the other one was Globe Communications in Montreal. And most of the writers actually double sold their stories. They would write for Reese and they would write for Globe. They would change a few things around. I never did that because I didn't need to do it for money. I wrote because I loved doing it. And a lot of the freelancers, this was their livelihood. This is how they made their money. And so I never did that. But I wrote for Reese, and they put out about 8 different magazines. And the way you would do it, if you found a story that fit the criteria, you would send in a query form that tells all about the crime, all about the people in it, and the date of conviction and the sentence. Because one of the things about the formula of true crime is they had to be either a murder or a very horrendous sex crime, had to involve detective work, couldn't be, you know, any smoking gun, a guy picks up the phone and calls the police and says, "I just killed my wife." That wouldn't qualify. It has to have detective work, and it has to be closed by conviction. Because readers of true crime don't want to be left hanging. Anyway, that's what I did. I wrote for Reese Communications for probably about 14 years, and then they went out of business. And True Detective had been in business for 75 or 80 years. They were in the barber shops when I was growing up. So when they went out of business, then I decided to write for Globe in Montreal, and I wrote for them for about 4 years until they went out of business. And now there are no more true crime magazines like the ones that I wrote for.